Powers and abilities. Iceman's primary power is cryokinesis, the ability to generate and control ice. He can freeze objects, create ice walls, and even transform his body into a form composed of ice, making him incredibly durable and nearly invulnerable. Origin. Bobby Drake discovered his powers as a teenager, initially feeling like an outsider due to his mutant abilities. He was later recruited by Professor Charles Xavier to join the X-Men, where he trained to use his powers for good. Role in the X-Men. Iceman is a core member of the X-Men, known for his youthful energy and often providing a lighter, more humorous perspective to the team's serious missions. Character development. Over the years, Iceman has experienced significant character development, including coming to terms with his sexuality and exploring his full potential as a powerful mutant.
All right, man. Culture talk. You know what it is, man. The Iceman. All right, man. So look, this is gonna be a very interesting episode. I'm gonna talk about Iceman's abilities. Bobby Drake. Before we get into that, you know I gotta get a legendary spill. This is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work for your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know where to find the ones that just don't harass them. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content absolutely free. But if you want to leave a donation, link is in the description. Cash App, no more PayPal. They could be the hidden gem. 1,300 subscribers, over 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18,000. And yes, I am the king of the north. Let me know what kingdom you are from. It's going to be a doozy. It's going to be a doozy. So look, man, we're going to get right to it. Will the real Iceman please stand up? You ready to ice a man? Man. Let's get it. All right, man. So look, I know a lot about comic books, and I was just pretty surprised, but I wasn't really surprised. But recently, Marvel has changed the character of Bobby Drake, Iceman, from back in the day. Bobby Drake was never, I don't want to say, I don't know how YouTube feels about that, but he was never like that. That recently just happened not too long ago. I believe back in 2010, somewhere around there, 2015 or something. But a lot of the characters, they wanted to diversify in that area, not race-wise, but in that area. They wanted to be inclusive to a certain group of a community. They wanted to do that. How does Drake fit into this equation? I don't know if Drake actually knows this about Bobby Drake, and he's just going off of the powers of Iceman. But I'm sure that, given the fact that Drake surrounds himself with people who are pretty a little bit smart, I would say they should know that this character is about exploring his sexuality. We should say. And honestly, Now that I think about it, this may fit Drake very well. And here's the reason why. Here's some of the reasons why I believe the Iceman album is going to be probably his most feminine album ever. Now that I think about it, it's not going to be the Iceman like the Iceman, the actual Iceman. I don't want to show his picture on here because I don't know if YouTube would do something about that, because you got to be real careful. But the Iceman, Richard Kuklinski. In fact, you know what? Okay, so to be fair, this is the Iceman. If you don't know about this guy, you need to go learn about this guy. So people are posting that Drake is trying to ice a man. You know what I'm saying? But this is the original. This is not the original, but this is who they called the Iceman. And we all know what ice means, put you on ice. You know what I'm saying? This guy name is Richard Kuklinski. He is a known, I believe, serial killer, or he murdered a lot of people. Let's just put it like that. And this is him. Now, to be fair to Drake, he could be talking about this guy. He could be talking about this guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to understand. He could be talking about this guy, saying he's the Iceman. So this guy is known for working for, I believe, the mob and getting back people and stuff like that. So he could be this guy. You know what I'm saying? But that's not who he posted on his page. Who he posted on his page, he didn't post this guy. No, he did not post this guy. You know what I'm saying? He didn't post this guy. Well, at least from what I've seen. I didn't see him. I think he did post. I don't know. Let's just say I don't know. But he didn't post this guy. At least I didn't see him post this guy. Maybe he just did just now. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see it. But given the history of what Drake does, I don't think that he's talking about Richard Kuklinski because of things like this. Painting your nails, getting in tune with your feminine energy, your feminine sexuality, we should say, right? You know what I'm saying? And this is no disrespect to the community of people who swing a certain way. It's no disrespect to you or whatever you do, that's on you, whatever. But as a straight man, I'm going to have to call out this behavior because he is a person who touts out that he is so heterosexual. So we got to call him to the carpet on this, because if you are bi, if you are bi, then we need to talk about it. And I did see some other pictures of Drake online that I'm just going to say I don't believe it. It's I don't know if it's him, but I mean, my thing is, like, it could be him, but if it's half of a picture, I don't believe that. No, I don't believe it. Let's just say he had some babies dancing on his face. Let's just say that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that was him. I think it was somebody else. So, but this is more of that behavior, and this is on his page. So this is more of that behavior that we're talking about, the feminine energy behavior that I think he's ready to display on this album. Now, I will say this could be a part of the agenda that pushes certain agendas, I would say. And this could be a part of that. Now, if it is a part of that agenda that's being pushed, then you definitely can't say Drake stands on a certain side of the political aisle. Let's just say that. Because one side of the political aisle does not support this type of behavior. Not to say that some of them don't, but a good portion of them don't. Right? So let's be clear. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest. But this is the type of feminine energy that he's spitting out. I guess preparing people for what's to come. Now, he could just be just feminine. He could just do this just for people to look at him. But my thing is, I'm going to be honest with y'all, and maybe y'all might disagree with this, but straight men don't exude feminine energy like this. We don't. We don't display female energy that's only, in my opinion, exclusively to women. This type of energy is exclusively to women. I don't think that a man should be displaying painted fingernails. If you want to get your nails done, what I mean by done is because you are hygienic and you want to get your nails taken care of, I get that. And that is possible. But if you want to do what normally women do, and don't get me wrong, the energy that's being displayed now is feminine energy. Back then, back in the 60s, it wasn't really like that. You know what I'm saying? If you seen a man with lipstick on and stuff like that, it wasn't that he was displaying feminine energy. That was makeup, highlighter, and I know it sounds kind of crazy, but that's what it was. But now it's a little feminine, the feminine energy that is being displayed. I don't think that men should be invading women's feminine space because we're masculine. Even if we are gay, we are still by nature masculine men. You could try to, and if you have to, me personally, if you have to try to fit into that category of femininity, then you don't belong there. Just like a woman trying to fit into the category of masculinity. You don't belong there. If you have to fit, if it comes off natural, it's still considered, in my opinion, it's still a little weird that a grown man would be doing something that young girls usually do or women usually do. That's just my opinion. And as you can see, it's out in the open. Now, some people would say, well, he's only doing this to shed light on the community, and bring light to the community. And my thing is, like, he shouldn't, and I hate to say this, but he shouldn't be doing that. That's for people who are truly invested into that community, for them to be doing that. Not somebody like him who's 1 foot in and 1 foot out just to get you to support him. You know what I'm saying? That's why I didn't like the fact. Now people say, oh, Tyler is this. I never believed Tyler Creator was gay. Never. And I don't believe it to this day. I don't. I think a lot of people use that community to get on their side, to get them to appeal to them in their demographic. That's it. I don't think a lot of these people are what they say they are. Now, is it possible that they're hidden or undercover? Yeah. But all of the stuff that he says out of his mouth, as far as women goes, I just don't see how it could be possible that he who say he is, if he says he's straight, I think he's 1 foot in, 1 foot out, but I don't think he's invested completely into this. And this may be a transition when it comes down to this Iceman album. And you see, some people say, well, Nipsey Hussle had ponytails, but Nipsey Hussle never dressed like that. See, there's a big difference between Cali dudes who wear ponytails and barrettes. That was just what it was back then. That, to me, ponytails doesn't mean that you are getting in tune with your feminine energy. Ponytails are just ponytails. A man can wear ponytails and a woman can wear ponytails, because I think that a lot of people believe that ponies are all females and horses are men. Like horses are males. It's like all the ponies, because ponies, remember My Little Pony and the small little ponies. It's like, oh, well, ponies are all only females. It's like ponies come off as feminine. You know what I'm saying? So when people see ponytails, depending on who's wearing it, but usually you see a Cali nigga wearing a ponytail. He ain't two ponytails or two pigtails or whatever you want to call him. He ain't doing. He ain't what you think he is. You know what I'm saying? But in this case, this looks feminine. This is feminine energy. You know what I'm saying? This is feminine energy. So is this. This is more feminine energy. If he was to cut his hair, it was to cut his beard, and he would look like a female. Like he really does look like a female, the way he's got his head tilted, taking a picture. You know what I'm saying? This is female energy right here. And again, if you want to be in tune with your female energy, it's okay. That's fine. But just don't gaslight people into making people believe that you are this straight superhero, super hoe, straight super hoe, when you're really not. You just a secret buttocks fondler. You know what I'm saying? More. You got barrettes in your hair. Now, we all know people used to wear rollers in their hair. But again, just because you see somebody wearing rollers in their hair, it depends on who we talking about. If you got feminine colored barrettes in your hair, this is feminine colored barrettes. This ain't, like just a neutral color. We all know these colors are feminine colors. And it matches the aesthetic of how he's carrying himself. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand the feminine energy is there. And if it's something that he can't hide, it's going to come out. I know some people look at him and they say these things, but I can almost guarantee you, if he comes out the closet, that's going to be a blow to his whole fan base. And listen, if you are what you are, that's what it is. I'm not mad at that. Just be who you are. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to do, that's cool. But his fans already believe he is a certain way. If he comes out like that, but I'll speak to a deeper issue. I think that this, not an issue, but there's a deeper meaning for this if he does come out, and I'm going to explain, but let's keep going. More feminine energy, the duck lips, and these are things that women usually do. And I don't know, maybe he's doing this as a troll, but then you got to ask yourself, men don't troll when it comes to female energy. That's just the bottom line. We don't do the trolling when it comes to female energy. Men don't do that. And y'all can say, well, men need to be more affectionate or in tune with their feelings. No, they don't. Not in public, they don't. No. A man should never display how he feels to his woman when it comes down to his emotions. Absolutely not. You keep that shit to yourself. You go in a corner somewhere and you keep it to yourself, and you keep it to yourself. I'm talking like emotional feelings that you should not share with a female. That's just my opinion. As a man, you handle that shit. You take care of it. Because once you let it out to a female, what happens? Sometimes they take that and they use it against you. Not all of them, but a good portion of them. And the ones you don't know. Because females don't understand the severity of how we feel about certain things. See, our type of pain is different from theirs. They are built to endure pain. We are not. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by emotional pain, not physical pain. We all built to endure physical pain. But emotional pain, men are really not built for that. They are, because their feelings go like this, back and forth. They can fall in love with you today and fall out of love with you tomorrow. It's just how it goes for females. But for men, it's very difficult to get over something that we really truly care about. That's why we have a problem when our dogs die. We have a real problem. But somebody like him displaying female energy is that cross that we should not be crossing, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But there's nothing wrong with if that's what you are, then that's what you need to say you are. Don't hide it and then try to play around with it. But again, I know a lot of y'all might take that wrongly, but I'm saying as a man, you never cry in front of your woman and you never show your woman you weak on anything. If there's an issue or a problem that you have, you don't tell your woman about it. You lose your job, you find another one. Don't come home and say, I lost my job, babe. No, I'm just going through so much. No, absolutely not. You don't do none of that in front of a woman. You handle it, take care of it, and then you move on from it. Now, a lot of people say, well, I disagree with that. Because the reason why is because that's why a lot of men commit suicide. That's why, because they don't want to let the feelings out. If you are taught as a young man by your parents, by your father, especially your father, that's why it's very important to have a father in the home, how to control your emotions and your feelings as a man, then you won't do that. If you let a woman dictate your emotions and feelings as a man, then you're going to always have issues and problems because the way they handle feelings and emotions are totally different how we handle it. A woman can't tell me how to handle my emotions and feelings because I can't tell her how to handle her emotions and feelings. We're two different type of species and we take two different type of pains differently when it comes to emotion. So I think that this right here is a display of something, and I'm going to explain it. Again, that's the same. Okay, you know what I mean? That's the same, of course. Here we go. More feminine energy. You know what I'm saying? You got ponytails and nails or whatever you want to call it. I think that you get a lot of men like this who want to be cool with the girls. And some of them want to do it to get close to the women, but some men like him, I'm going to say like him because I don't really know exactly how he is. I'm just looking at him from the outside. But there are men who may be in his same ballpark of imagery, I would say. Men like him, they admire women and they admire how they carry themselves. They admire how they look at women as beautiful. Now, I look at women as beautiful too, but in a different manner. I look at a woman as beautiful as I want to have her. And I want her to be with me. She's mine. And I want to kiss on her, love her. They look at women as beautiful as a goddess. Like she's like, oh my God. Oh, look at her. Like almost like how would I say this? Almost like looking at them as if they're a science project or something that they're fascinated by. That's the word I'm looking for. Men like him look at certain women like they're fascinated, and they want to just see that trophy there, and it's like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Oh, like they look at it like that. No type of attraction to it, more like some type of admiring to it. You know what I'm saying? Like looking at a figure in let's say a figure in like somebody like Gandhi or somebody like the Pope. You're not attracted to them. You're fascinated by them. You know what I'm saying? Looking at them like, oh my God, so beautiful. The words are beautiful. Like that's how I think this type of man looks at women, as beautiful, fascinated projects, like or entities in a way. Me, I don't look at it like that. I look at them as beautiful, attractive, females that I want around me and I want to hold to and kiss and rub their feet and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Attraction like that. His type of attraction is different. I didn't mean to show this one. But it's just funny that the imagery is there. But it's obviously he's lifting weights. But I'm just saying, yeah, I didn't mean to show that one. That was just funny. But anyway, again, now I don't know if this picture is actually real. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Somebody could actually put those nails on there. I don't know. But I did see a picture like this, and the nails were longer than this. Now, I don't know if that's what he's displaying here. I have no clue. I'm just saying. I did see a picture where the nails were actually longer. But this could be the actual picture, or it could just be fake. So I just want to let y'all know that. You know what I'm saying? But again, more feminine energy. And then I see people saying stuff about his hair. And they say, well, he got a heart part in his head, and he did that for Kendrick. Talking about the heart part. And like, that sounds really cool. I ain't gonna lie. The heart part, like that sounds really cool. But again, to me, this comes from having a single mother. He had his dad in his life, but his dad wasn't in his life. All of these things that we're displaying and it's coming to right to a head is right here. This is him displaying he had a single mother. Now, I don't think it's bad to have a single mother if you were raised a certain way. In my opinion, no woman should be raising a single child. No single mother. There should be no single mothers. I don't care what nobody says. I stand on that 100%. Every female should have a man in their life to raise their child, a good man, not some just random bum. Because I already know people ready to start typing. I already know. So you could take the thumbs off the phone. Take it off the phone. Because I already know. I'm saying every female that has a child should have a good man in their life. That's what I'm saying. If you with them, even better. If you're not, you should have a man that gives some type of role model some type of advice or help you raise your boy if you have a boy. Because, and even if you have a girl, it should be a female too. You need a strong, stable man around, because men display something different than a female. I know that we live in society and they make it seem like it's okay for every woman to be single with children. And some women, they are forced to be single with children. I get it. I 100% understand the logic behind why they do that. But at the same time, women need a protector, whether it's of the father or a man or a brother or a uncle, whatever. They need a protector to help them protect them from other men. That's just the bottom line. You do need that. Every female that's on my page, I understand if you are a single mother, and I'm just going to be honest, you should have a man in your life to help you raise your child or your children. Because even though you can do it, the ramifications of it, it's sometimes a good portion of men come out confused. I'm not saying that you can't raise kids, because a lot of y'all are amazing mothers. You can. But you're just the mother. That's it. I know that's a big thing, but you're just the mother. You're one component to the child. And when you are the one only component, children tend to find other outlets to help them be raised. And some of these outlets that they tend to find are guns, drugs, streets, other women, toxicity, whatever you want to call it. They end up doing that. Now, some people say, well, you can have both parents and still. I would rather have both of my parents and still be a bad person than have one of my parents and turn out to be a bad person. Because in my opinion, usually one of those parents you could talk to and they'll give you a different perspective. But at the same time, I know people are saying that. But when we live our lives on things that are not outliers, we live our lives on what reality is. And the reality is there are too many single mothers in the world, or at least in this country. There's too many. I travel a lot and I see single women with 3 kids traveling. And I ask myself, why is that? I can't fully blame the woman because as a man, you got to be around. Now, if she has 4 kids by 4 different baby dads, I can't really say anything about that. That's something that she need to, take care of. But even with that being said, you got 4 different men perspectives to help you raise your children. So I believe this is the last picture. I don't know. I don't know if that's a man. I believe that's a man, but still in all, the feminine energy in this picture kind of says a lot. And it, to me, it's a little weird. I would never do nothing like this, in my opinion. I mean, some people will, but I won't sit in no guy's lap. That's just not happening. Like I'm not doing that. I don't drink, but even if I did, I'm still not doing it. So, but yeah. So why are we all confused? Why does a lot of young men come out confused, and why is society okay with pushing the agenda that young men can have to be this way? I think that's a bad way of, how would I say this? I think it's a bad thing to do to young men. When you come from a single home, a single mother home, and I'm only going to focus on single mothers right now because let's just say single fatherhood isn't a thing. So we kind of got to go off single motherhood. And I know this conversation may hurt a little bit. But I mean, we here to bridge the gap. You know what I'm saying? It's not just here to actually talk down on single mothers. I'm not doing that. And if you think I'm doing that, then you just definitely ain't listening to what I'm saying. You just being a numbskull. I always thought that was funny. Numbskull. You just don't feel anything in your head. You a numbskull. Like, that's what my teacher used to say. So this one little kid didn't listen. You're just a numbskull. When I go home, I used to be like, what the fuck does that mean? Numbskull. What does that mean? Like numbskull. And then like maybe years later, I said, damn, he was a numbskull. Anyway, but as far as like single mother, I believe that they turn single motherhood into a single mother culture. And I think that a lot of single mothers, they have the ability to raise boys. I mean, a woman has the ability to lift up a 100-pound weight. But you have to think about it, how difficult it is for a woman to lift up a 100-pound weight. But if she had another male there to help her, it'd be much easier to lift up a 100-pound weight. You get what I'm saying? So I think that single motherhood breeds a lot of introverted young men or men that are antisociable, or men that don't know how to accept no from a female because they've been in a relationship with their mother their whole life. And understand what I mean by being in a relationship with your mother. I'm saying they've been in a relationship with their mother, saying that their mom basically plays their girlfriend when they get into a relationship. Let me break that down, because a lot of y'all might think that what I'm saying is weird. No, what I'm saying is men go into relationships looking for their mother because their mother been basically buying their clothes, cooking their food, taking care of them. Every time they need something, she's right there. I think a lot of men who were raised by single mothers, they come into a relationship looking for a woman to do these things. But see, it's not a problem when you're looking for a woman to do these things. The issue comes in that is most of these men are lazy, and they don't know how to treat a woman who basically treats them like their mom treated them. Also, too, I think a lot of men that are raised by single mothers are detached emotionally from a lot of people, especially other females. Because if they don't get treated the way they think they should be treated, they could cut and run real fast. They don't know how to solve problems, in my opinion. Also, too, I think that when you're raised by a single mother, a good portion of these men look at how other men who deal with their mom treat their mom. So, for example, if their mom date another guy and she don't really take him serious, they kind of they go into a relationship either expecting a woman to not treat them serious, or they go into a relationship not so attached to that female. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think that that's the case when it comes down to it. Now, how does this relate to Drake? Drake he was raised by a single mother. He did have his dad in his life, but his dad is a difference between having a part-time dad and a full-time dad in your life. You got to understand. It's a big difference. And I know some people say, well, you can have a dad in the home and still not be a dad. I would rather have my dad in the home than not see my dad at all and see him once. People say, well, your dad, you can have your dad around every 6 months, and that could make him a good dad. If your dad is around every 6 months, your dad is not a good dad. I'm sorry. Unless he works on a cruise ship or something like that. Or unless he has a career where it takes him away for 6 months and he comes home for 6 months. If you have a weekend part-time dad, if your dad comes to see you every other weekend, in my opinion, he's not a good dad. I don't care what nobody says. He's not. If your mom keeps your dad away from you, she's not a good mom. Sorry. Just what it is. If your mom does that, if your mom says, you can't see your kids this weekend, I'm not allowing this, she's not a good mom. The worst thing you can do to a child is keep them away from their parents, especially if their parents love them and want to be around. Again, we're talking in the scope of good parents, so don't be acting like a fool, ready to say, well, what about if the parent was doing this? And what about that? And what if he had this? No, I think that this relates to young men, and Drake knows this. A lot of young men, especially in this country, are very feminine. Very feminine. And Drake knows this. A lot of young men are in tune with their femininity or the feminine gene that they have in them. Some of them even force this gene. Some of them do. But when you are promoting certain things or certain lifestyles all over TV and also promoting single motherhood and not championing fathers, and every time Father's Day come around and it's mothers on Facebook saying, Happy Father's Day to me, stuff like that, that's a huge problem. And young boys see this. And you know what they say? I don't ever want to be like my dad. And I also believe that certain people promote the how would I say this? Certain people promote women, single motherhood and the love for mothers as superseding the father, if I would say. Like the love for your mother is much more greater than your dad. Like it has to be that way. That's what I think they promoting. They don't promote, in my opinion, they don't promote to like mother and father, the love. You should have love for your father and your mother. It's like the mother's love has to be this unconditional and the father's love is just normal. You know what I'm saying? And again, Drake trying to relate to young men who are effeminate, this is what we get. So I want y'all to understand. So yeah, man. Shout out to all the single mothers and single fathers out there. I know it's very difficult to raise a child in this climate that we live in because there's people who take advantage of your child without even saying nothing to their child. They can manipulate your child and do certain things to your child without you even knowing. Like your child go to school and they're promoting stuff in your child's head that you don't particularly agree with. And then you look like the crazy angry parent. And then, and then you got females who go along with this behavior and say, oh, let them be who they want to be. It's like, as a child, you shouldn't let these children explore certain things that are made for adults, I should say. Men do the same thing too because they want to go along or they don't want to, rock the boat. So yeah, like, nah, it's okay. Like, or the big one is, no matter what your child do, you should love them. No, you shouldn't. No, absolutely not. No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree if your child is doing something just crazy that you should love them and support them. No, absolutely not. I know some parents, one dude, I argue with him. He said, my child wanted to be a crackhead and he was good at doing crack. I would support him because I love him that much. I said, you a goddamn fool. That's what I told him. I said, you a fool. You will love your child to the grave. Sometimes you got to show what they call tough love. That's just that. But either way, so as far as Drake goes, I definitely think that this album is going to be something different. And yeah, thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? I love talking about this type of stuff. I actually, I was thinking about just starting a channel called Trust Issues and talk about nothing but relationships on there and certain things. I don't know. I think I should do that. And I'm gonna have guests on and I'll probably have callers on and stuff like that. I love to talk about. I've been talking about this for years. I mean, some things I'm right about, some things people say I'm wrong about, but it's just my opinion, just like y'all have y'all's. Yeah, so I might do that. And just, y'all might see that. I'm not sure yet. I'm still working on, but yeah. Thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all on the next one, man. Peace. Bye.